Okay, this is the site of Dhra, one of the earliest Neolithic sites in Jordan. It was found originally by a British road engineer who was working in the area, and it had been exposed by some military emplacements from the '67 war. Looking around, it all looks very dry and desert-like, but at the end of the Ice Age, when it was occupied, just the beginning of the Holocene period, this would have actually been relatively watered, well watered. People are actually building specialised constructions. So there are buildings for storage, and there are buildings for working, for grinding cereal, and there are buildings for living in. And the storage buildings are perhaps the most fascinating, because it's a moment when you can actually see something being invented to deal with a problem. Because what's happening around here at the time is that they're cultivating wild barley, and they're collecting a big harvest in, and they're storing it. And because you imagine this is a slightly damp ground, and because rodents and things are beginning to live with them, they lift the floors up off the ground on zinc stone columns with wooden beams running across them and raised floors. And we're pretty sure that these were used for storing the barley, because on the floor we've got concentrations of the silica cell phytoliths from the barley, and also in the walls, which are made of mud, pisé or adobe, so it's not mud brick, it's just a continuous mud wall. The material that's in with the mud to stop it cracking is the barley chaff. So there's loads and loads of barley chaff, so you're looking at really quite serious volumes of that. So probably what they're doing is they've come down, they're using this relatively well-watered small area of plain here to grow wild barley, cultivate it, store it, and actually let themselves stay in one place for longer and longer periods. So they may not have been here all the year, but they were staying here a really substantial period of time. Okay, so one of the special things at this site is the amount of flint that they're working, and they're very basic flint cobbles, and we're sitting right on top of the source of these, and they're working them so you work the way back through the flint cobble, and they're producing these series of long flakes, blade-like flakes. So vast quantities of that. We've got more than 1 million pieces of flint from this site. So it's really quite an industrial process, which is quite interesting again. So you're seeing the development of perhaps specialised craftsmen, because this is quite skilled work, this producing these regular blades one after the other, and working what would have been a flint cobble back and back and back until you end up with this sliver at the end of the day. So you're looking at quite sophisticated craft work going on. So you've got all sorts of things beginning to bubble away at the start of the Neolithic, from storage, cultivating wild barley before it's domesticated, craftsmanship and staying in one place longer and longer periods, and living in a settlement that's really pretty big. I mean, a hectare, even if not densely occupied, allows quite a large population to be staying and living in one place, which means that you have to begin to find new social structures as to how they can manage to keep the community together.